Let me tell you, the day my life changed at Roosevelt, I didn't start with some grand plan or even a moment of courage, no. It started with the sound of a lunch tray crashing to the floor and chocolate milk splattering across my brand new, still bright white sneakers. I remember looking down, a cold puddle creeping over my toes, and then looking up to see three seniors, all of them towering over me, their laughter bouncing around the cafeteria like a pack of hyenas. Oops, sneered Jessica, queen bee of the school. All perfect hair and perfect cruelty. Looks like the new girl needs to learn how to walk. Yeah, that happened. But what nobody knew, not Jessica, not her quarterback boyfriend Tyler, not even the teachers, was that I'd been walking a different kind of path my whole life, a path built on discipline, respect, and, okay, I'll say it, deadly precision. I've been training in Taekwondo since I was 5 third-degree black belt. Not that anyone cared in that moment, except maybe me. Try not to let my hands shake as I stared at the floor. I'll admit, it wasn't fear making me tremble, it was holding myself back. The whole cafeteria had gone silent, 200 pairs of eyes glued to the scene, everyone wondering what the quiet new girl would do. Would she cry? Would she run? Would she fight? I picked up my sandwich, took a breath, and heard myself say, "You know what? I think there's been a misunderstanding." My voice barely made a ripple, but Tyler stepped forward, built like a linebacker, smirk on his face. "Oh, really? What's that supposed to mean, freak?" His friend Marcus was right behind him, fists already balled, knuckles popping. I looked up, meeting their gaze. "It means," I said, still quiet, still steady, "that you think I'm someone you can push around. But I'm not." And for a second, I almost felt bad for them. Almost. Jessica rolled her eyes, her laugh scraping across the tiles. "Listen to this girl, what are you going to do? Karate chop us?" The people around us started snickering, but I just set my sandwich down, cracked the smallest smile. "Actually, it's Taekwondo, but close enough." And I made it clear I wasn't looking for trouble, but I also wasn't about to be their punching bag. That's when Tyler shoved me, thinking he knocked me back, but see, that's the thing about years of training. Muscle memory takes over. My hand shot out, fast as lightning, and I caught his wrist in a grip that made his eyes go wide. "Thing about bullies," I said, conversational as if we were chatting about the weather, "is they never expect you to fight back." He tried to pull away, his face turning red, but I didn't let go. Not until he apologized. Of course, he refused and tried to swing at me with his free hand. In one move, I let his wrist go, stepped back, and watched his punch fly through empty air. Then, just like my master taught me, I hit him with a palm strike to the solar plexus. Down he went, gasping for air, the cafeteria in total shock. Jessica screamed. Marcus charged at me, all muscle and no control, and I just ducked under his swing, swept his legs right out from under him. He hit the ground hard, looking up at me like I'd turned into someone else. I leaned down, genuinely worried for a second. "You okay? I really didn't want to hurt you, but you gave me no choice." And in that moment, I think it finally clicked for everyone. I wasn't the victim here. I was just tired of running. Jessica, though, she was still in shock, muttering, "You're crazy," but her voice was small, scared. I shook my head. "No, I am trained." "That's different." I glanced at the sea of phones recording all those witnesses. My master always said, the greatest victory is the one you don't have to fight for. But sometimes people don't give you that choice. That's when Vice Principal Morrison bulldozed his way into the circle, his face red, demanding answers. Jessica jumped right in. She attacked us, but this time, nobody was buying it. Morrison looked at me, suspicious but open. I told him the truth. They started it. I defended myself. Tyler tried to spin it, but when Morrison asked for witnesses, nearly every hand shot up. He called on Sarah, not even a friend of mine, who backed up my story word for word. Morrison listened, looked at me, at the bullies, then said, "You three will serve detention. Any more trouble, and it's suspension." He told me to come to his office to fill out a report. And as I gathered my stuff, the whole place buzzed, half in awe, half in fear. Did you see how fast she moved? She took down Tyler like nothing. She's some kind of ninja. I tried to tune out, but then Emma, a girl with wild red hair and kind eyes, walked up and said, "That was amazing. You know, those three have been terrorizing this school forever. It's about time someone stood up to them." Want to sit with us tomorrow? For the first time since moving, I felt a little less alone. But of course, nothing's ever that simple. By the end of the day, the story had gone viral in the halls, in teachers' lounges, even in the principal's inbox. Suddenly, I was legend status, but not everyone liked it. Jessica, Tyler, and Marcus were furious they'd gone from royalty to laughingstock overnight. In detention, Jessica vowed revenge. "Everyone has secrets," she said. "We just need to find hers." And they did. Turned out, I wasn't just any transfer. My dad was the new head surgeon at the hospital, my mom a big-shot architect. But that wasn't the real gossip. Jessica dug up an article about my old school. 6 months earlier, I put a kid named David in the hospital during a demonstration. It had been an accident, but the damage was real: 2 broken ribs, a punctured lung, 2 weeks in a hospital. I'd almost quit martial arts for good after that. The next day, Jessica cornered me in AP History, waving the printout like a trophy. "Look what our hero did," she sneered. The class went silent as she read the headline aloud. I tried to explain, but my voice was shaking. I told the truth. That was an accident, that I'd lived with the guilt every day since, that David had forgiven me, but I'd never really forgiven myself. You could hear a pin drop. Even Jessica looked a little stunned. Then Emma, bless her, stood up and said, "You know what, Jessica? I feel a lot safer around Maya than I do around you. When Maya hurts someone, it destroys her. When you hurt someone, you laugh." The class started murmuring, the tide turning right there. Jessica slumped down, muttering, "You're all freaks." But for me, it felt like something lifted. I wasn't hiding anymore, not from them, not from my past. And instead of isolating me, the truth made me more real, more human, even respected. Students came up to me, not with fear, but with empathy. I guess sometimes standing up for yourself isn't just about the fight. It's about owning your scars, your mistakes, and showing everyone you won't let them define your future. So yeah, maybe I'm dangerous, but only to people who think hurting others makes them strong. If you ask me, real strength is using what you've learned to lift people up, not tear them down. And that's what I want to leave you with, right here, right now. What would you have done in my shoes? Is it better to stand up and risk being seen as dangerous, or stay silent and let bullies rule? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about what justice, courage, and redemption really mean. Because at the end of the day, we all have the power to change the story. Sometimes all it takes is one choice.